Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Henry and this is our newest video from my first series in the channel concerning Think Python. I don't know if you had the chance to see, but my first video was concerning free resources for you to learn Python and to improve, if you already know, your knowledge in Python. Since I don't have a computer science background, I decided to choose Think Python due to one of the author's big promises, that is, let us think like a computer scientist. At least at the end of this book is what I'm hoping for. I know, maybe I'm a bit naive, but let's see where the book takes us. So in the first chapter, the main idea here is that the computer scientist must be a problem solver, but in my opinion, I believe that every company from every country wants that every single employee of every single level to be a problem solver. So this is not an exclusive skill for a computer scientist. Concerning the Python programming language, the key concepts here for me were the distinct between high-level language and low-level language. So to summarize, low-level languages are machine languages, as the author quotes. So they are not as easier to program than a high-level language, and they take extra processing time. But they don't need compilers or interpreters that a high-level language like Java or C or Python need. I must confess that the distinction between interpreter and compiler was not clear to me here in the book, so I will add in the comment box a link concerning a funny analogy between interpreter and the compiler. You let me know what you think if you have the chance to see it. But basically, the key insight that I got from the video was that the interpreter decodes every code from high level to low level. And the great advantage of interpreter is that if you for some reason commits a syntax error or something like that, you can correct it right away, because the interpreter decodes line by line. On the opposite, the compiler will compile all the script, and if you have like a tiny mistake, the compiler will return an error. I'm not sure, because I've never used the compiler, but probably a compilation error, and the compiler doesn't even compile, or it compiles and you probably need to fix the error in order to fix it. I'm so sorry guys, I cannot speak about this because I really never used the compiler in life, but check the video, I guess you will like it. Okay, another key concept for me was the interactive mode and the script mode. Please don't laugh, but I've never used interactive mode like ever. I've always trying to run my code or my script in script mode. And whenever I have a doubt about a specific function or I don't know, a specific problem debugging my code, I would always use a test.py. And when I was reading through the thing Python, I was like, okay, so I gotta check what this is. So I'm gonna show you. I use Visual Studio, and I was recording previously, so I can leave this here. So I just created a entitled one.py, and I called it here because I'm on Windows. So when you are on Windows and also on Unix, you can call Python. The file in my case is entitled and .py, and the script will run magically. So the thing is, instead of creating a file, saving a file, writing code, or copying pasting code and call it on the terminal, you could do a much more simpler action, which is Ctrl-Shift-P, type REPL. This will open the interactive mode, and you can write here et voila. Ta-da! And if you got something wrong, like for instance you forgot the N, interactive mode will also print a name error. So this is awesome. I really loved it, so I'm probably gonna use it instead of test.py. As you see, it refers to Unix, but as you saw, I use Windows 10, and you can do it on Windows 10 in the same way. What is a program? So a program is a sequence of instructions that specifies how to perform a computation. My hello world that you just saw on Visual Studio, not Visual Studio, VS Code, my apologies, on VS Code, it's also like the tiniest program of all computer science history. And I didn't find this very important. An input is data from the keyboard, a file, or well, this seems pretty common sense to me. I don't know about you guys. So you can think of programming as a process of breaking a large complex test into a smaller. It makes sense, if you want to do a scraper to scrape multiple sites, you will probably begin by creating a function to read the site, and after creating a function to store the information from the site, and so on and so forth. So concerning errors, I didn't appreciate this much. The author says that we will learn more about the errors after, but they were pretty much, I don't know. I felt that I needed to do a Google search in order to correctly understand. But let's give it a try and see if in the next chapters we will get more knowledge about errors. So very briefly, syntax errors are when you miss a parenthesis, or also a runtime error is when exceptional, because I've never run into a runtime error, like never. But I'm newbie, so I don't know. I really can explain what this is because I've never run into it, and this was not clear to me. I don't know what you found about this. And also semantic errors. Again, cannot go deeper on this. I'm so sorry. So this is not considering a specific ID. As you saw previously, I use VS Code, so I was hoping that I could learn how to debug, but this is more like a theoretical concept on how to debug, and I found that the detective analogy was very funny and clever. But hey, debugging and doing everything you can to put the program running is programming, so there's no better definition of it. Also here, formal language and natural languages. I didn't felt that I was really learning something important for programming, but again, I'm a newbie, so probably this is really important. I actually don't see how. But maybe after we'll see together, so I don't know. But natural languages are like English, Spanish, and French, and formal languages are like mathematical mathematical notations, and programming languages. So there's nothing much to add here. This is a comparison between natural languages and formal languages, and the ambiguity and redundancy are very important concepts. I know because I had a course on databases and they use this a lot, but again, the author doesn't provide as much, probably because we will learn after. Here, our first program, so I've already done this in VS Code. This is Python 2, so don't forget Python 3 has parentheses. And that's all for today, folks. Leave a comment below if you found something more interesting, or if you don't found this interested at all, because I need your feedback. And I'll probably will be continuing doing this series, because I actually find that Think Python is an interesting book. At least I prefer it to Automation the Boring Stuff. But this is personal taste, so I don't know. You probably prefer Automation Boring Stuff. People are different. Thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned. Bye.